Hello, welcome back. Today we're looking at computer studies for NECO 2023, and we'll be looking at the practical, of course, but we're going to look at question number 1A and B. Instructions: use your computer to answer all your questions. You are required to print out the hard copies of your answers. No contents of the candidate's work should be the same. Okay, usual instruction. A1 says use Microsoft Word to perform the tasks below. So you have been instructed to reproduce this table with the data inside. They say reproduce the table above with Times New Roman, font, face, and font size 16. Okay, so we need to recreate this table and put in the data inside. So if you look at it, you see that it is a lesson timetable. Okay, so let's try to reproduce that. Now here I have launched my Microsoft Word, right? So for us to do that, we need to know how many rows, how many columns. All right, so on the vertical axis we have the columns, that is 1 2 3 4 5. On the horizontal axis we have the row 1 2 3 4 5 6. So we have 5 columns and 6 rows. So let's create a table. So here we are. To create a table, you go to insert and then you click on table there. So remember, 5 rows. So how many rows do we have here? 5 columns, sorry, 5 columns, and then 6 rows. So you see there, 5 by 6. Good. All right, before we create a table, let's just put the question number to it, 1A. Aha. So let's go ahead to create a table. So 5 columns, 5 columns and 6 rows. So you see there, 5 by 6, and then you click OK. So once you do that, you can go ahead to insert the text. So remember, we're told that the text must be size 16 Times New Roman. I believe so. Yes, 16 Times New Roman. Okay, so I'm just going to select everything here, change it to 16 and Times New Roman. All right, so that way I'm sure that all the data I'm going to enter will follow suit. We are going to enter this data here. So you have day from Monday, all of that. So I am quickly going to enter them and then I'll come back to this video. I have entered all the data as instructed. So in order to make this video short, I didn't have to capture that. So let's go back to the question. So let's look at number 2. It says change all the contents in the first row to uppercase and make them bold. All right, now before that, let's try to see if we can particularly arrange this table the way it is here. But given the font size that we chose and the orientation, it would not be possible. So that's why I left them this way. However, if you look down a bit, I quickly checked and then I saw where they said using landscape orientation. Say print out the hard copy. So they actually want us to keep the final work in landscape orientation. So why don't we just do that at once? So how do we go to orientation? I believe you are enjoying this video. Now you have to like, share, subscribe or follow and hit the notification button so that this video gets to as many persons as possible. Okay, remember, it will cost you nothing. We'll go to orientation by going to layout and then landscape. So here we are. Now how do we adjust this? So let's try to see if we would be able to fit them in. You see, let me repeat that. I came to this little box here. Okay, I clicked on the table, came to this little box there, waited for the icon to change to this double-sided arrow, click hold, and then I dragged it to this position, which I think is fine. And then I can equally extend this a little bit. Okay, click on that very icon there. That says move table column. So click hold and drag it towards my left. Okay, so let me push this in a little bit. push this in a little bit. Okay, this is out of it. Yeah, so I think this works. Let me see if I can automatically do this to arrange the rest of them, because I want us to save time. So I think I'll go to page layout. Yeah, this is auto fit. Let me click on auto fit content. Okay, I want to also adjust the height of the cells. Let me see if I can push it up a bit. This is going to work. Okay, so I think this looks okay. Now you can see me adjusting it, right? Aha. So this looks okay. So number 2 says change all the comments in the first row to uppercase, and then you make them bold. Everything in the first row. So this is the first row. So the way I'm going to do this is to press Shift F3. Okay. So when you press Shift F3, it toggles between lowercase all through to initial caps to uppercase. All right, so the next thing that we need to do is to make them bold. So I didn't do that, sorry. So let's make it bold. You can see there, bold. All right, so this has destroyed the previous arrangements we did. All right, so I think it may not be possible for us to go further than this, because there's no way we can adjust this more than that. Yeah, so we'll leave it this way. All right, let's move on. Number 3 says change margins at the top and bottom to 1.1, and then margins at the left and right to 1.5, all in inches. So we'll go to layout. You can now go to margin. When you click on margin, you go down to custom margins. So when you're in custom margin, you can change the top, okay, the left, bottom, and the right. So for the top and bottom, they say 1.1 inches. Now, if you have this in CM, there is actually a quick way to do this. There is another longer way to do it, but there is a quick way to do it. Let me show you the quick way. So here is 2.5 cm. Remember, the top and the bottom is supposed to be 1.1 inches. So to change that, you just type 1.1 inches, and you do your shift double quote. So this is what inches. Okay, so you also do the same thing for this one, 1.1 inches, by holding your shift and the double quotes. Okay, so 1.5, we do the same thing here, 1.5 inches, 1.5 inches. Then you can click on OK. You see, if you notice, it has adjusted. Now, going by the way this table is looking, it's not going to be possible for us to arrange it exactly like it is appearing. Okay. So the other thing is this: if you watch, because of the way we adjusted the table, it is not following the margin as instructed. So we're supposed to have almost similar space here and there by the margin that we have created. So I think what we should do is to rearrange the table. Okay, so I'm just going to rearrange this table to look like this. I don't think it matters anymore. Okay, so that, because I think the margin is more important, following the margin is much more important than trying to make it look like it appears. Yeah, okay, so I think this is good this way. It won't be a problem. So by doing that, at least we have enough space here and some space there. Okay, so the next thing we need to do, they say insert a new column after period 2 and type your first name in the column. So to insert a new column after period 2, you just come to period 2 there, you right click. When you right click, you go to insert. When you go to insert, you go to see column to the right. So when you click, that's what you're going to get. Okay, so thank goodness we still have enough space there. So you type your first name. So my first name, MD. We're done with this one, so let's just mark them out so we know where we are. Okay, The next thing is insert a new row titled Thursday below Wednesday. Okay, so we need to do that below Wednesday. So this is Wednesday, so you click on the Wednesday, right click, and then insert below. Okay, so we're told to type Thursday. Insert a page number at the bottom and center align. Okay, so we're done with this. Now let's move to inserting of page number. So how do we insert a page number? By going to insert, of course, and then you see page number there. They say it's at the bottom and it should be center aligned. Okay, so here we are. So we need to pick this, okay, because it is at the center and it's at the bottom as well. So here we are. That's that. So we've inserted the page number. Page number inserted. The next one, they said replace subjects in Wednesday's row with the subject not found on the table. They don't want all the subjects to appear. It has to be subjects that are not in the table. So what do we do? What subjects that are not here? Home economics is not here. What else do we not have here? Data processing is not here. What else? Physics is not here. I believe there's no physics, right? No physics. And then is there chemistry? Chemistry is not here. Okay, so we've done that part. Insert a watermark hello world horizontally at the center of your work. So to get to watermark, we'll go to design, I believe. Yeah, design, and then you see watermark there. So go to custom watermark, go to text watermark, and replace this with hello world. Now let's check the spelling again. Hello world. Okay, the only uppercase is the H, and then the rest. Hello world. And then they say it should be placed what? Horizontally. So you click on horizontal, and then you click on OK. So there you are. So you have the hello world showing there. Okay, so there is a mistake that we made here. We did this part of inserting the new row, but I forgot to type the different subjects. Okay, so let's quickly just enter different subjects for Thursday. Okay, so I will just go for subjects that are not in this list. What are the subjects again? Geography is not here. Economics, government, CRS. Okay, so I think this is good. What else do we need to do? The next part says interchange all subjects excluding the contents of period 1 of both Monday and Friday. So let's go there. Monday, that's this content here, the subject here. So let's just make this red. And then Friday, that's for computer science. So we can exchange every other thing but leave these ones the way they are. In order to achieve that, this is what I want to do. I want to copy the contents of period 3. I want to cut out the content, put it in this empty space here, and then I'll just move this content, drop it there, move this content, Ctrl X to cut, please, drop it there, and then move this content and drop it there. So I believe if I do so, I would have interchanged them, right? I believe I did that correctly. Okay, so that's like a quick way to do it instead of doing them one after the other. Okay, then I have to move these ones now. So I can take this out, drop it here, take this out, drop it there, bring this back, and then change this, drop it here, move geography, drop it there, and take mathematics. So you just do that randomly, and hopefully you would have exchanged them. Let's check the question just to be sure. So here we have further maths, English, and mathematics on Saturday. Further maths, English, so we did that correctly. Second period we have agri, computer, maths. Okay, so I think that worked very well. Third period we have English language. Good, so I think that worked very well. This one, period 4, we have agri. Yeah, so I think that works very well. Okay, like that, it worked. What next do we need to do? Oh, we've done all of this. Now this part says italicize the content in the last row. So make it italics, content in the last row, everything here. Click, hold, and select everything there, and go to that. Okay, or Control I. Next, using landscape orientation, print out your hard copy of your work. Now please, before you print out, make sure to put in your name and your number, maybe at the header, okay, or the footer, anywhere. Very important. Put in your reg number. Make sure you don't type a wrong reg number, please. Okay, so since you've done this, and this work is already in landscape, so you can go ahead to print your work by hitting your Ctrl P, and here you are. So you can do print. So let's go to the B part. So we're done with this, done with that. So you have 22 marks in the bag. Hooray! So the B part says state 2 precautions taken while performing the task in and out. So I will quickly just do this, and I'll type this and then I will explain. Okay, so I've done the typing already. So here we have them. All I did was just to come to the end of the table and hit Control Enter in order to create a new page, and then I typed everything there. Okay, so as per the precaution, I wrote that I made sure to save my work in a folder. I regularly save the changes to my work. Oh, I have not been doing that, so remember to always do your Control S. Okay, very, very important. I made sure to follow instructions carefully. Of course we did. I made sure my system was connected to power. Okay, I double checked spelling. Okay, I think we can equally add another one. I made sure to enter data correctly. Yeah, it is also a precaution. All right, next question says, what is a word processor? And I say that a word processor is an application that is used to create, edit, and print word-based document or text-based documents. Okay, examples, of course, we're using Microsoft Word, so that's what we have. We have Notepad, WordPad, Google Docs, and all of that. Okay, so there are loads of them. What are the shortcuts used to minimize, okay, your current window? Okay, so there are two here. I wrote Windows M. If you do Windows M, you should automatically minimize this very window. So let's try that. Hold my Windows key and I press M. You see, it will minimize the entire window. So that's one way. Another way would be you hold your control, you hold your Windows and your down arrow. Okay, when you do that, it will minimize as well. So What's the next one? To redo last action. Redo last action. Redo last action is this one. This one is undo. When you undo, you see, you redo. If you watch, just watch there. Let me redo. It has come back. You see? Okay. So this is see, redo. That's to repeat an action. That's Control Y. Undo is Control Z. Insert a new. So we've done this, treated that, treated this here, and then the last part says insert a new page. So we just did that already. Control Enter to insert a new page. Okay, so that's that. Okay, so that's how you insert a new page. Hold your Control key and press Enter. A new page is created. So let me undo with Control Z. Good. To go back. All right, so that's that for this question. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys again in the next video.